This altcoin holds the key for the rest of the bull market. Even though the last week has had some bullish price action for crypto, there's a whole lot more to go to the upside in my personal opinion. And this is the altcoin that is the most important to be tracking, watching, paying attention to the charts, and making sure you're also paying attention to news. If you're ready for this video, even right now, smash that like button. And after starting a brand new channel, make sure you are subscribed. Tell your friends about it. Get them subscribed as well. Let's get it. Now, on this channel, I've talked about a lot of different altcoins I'm extremely bullish on. And some of you will know there's a couple coins out there that I think have massive returns still on the table. You don't necessarily need to take that and go with it and say you agree with everything I ever say. I can get things wrong from time to time. Continue to do your own research. But these altcoins are going to make people a lot of money if I am right. But there's one coin that might not make you a whole lot of money compared to others. However, the importance of its chart moving in the right direction and what it does in the news will play massive roles in the other coins that I've talked about on this channel. That coin's name is Ethereum. Now, for any of the OGs out there, you guys might be saying, well, duh, Tim, Ethereum is the #1 altcoin. Of course, it's very important. But if you're newer to the crypto space, if you've been waiting on what's called an altcoin season, Ethereum is the coin to be watching because it holds the keys to what that ends up looking like. If you've never seen this chart, it lays out the steps of which an altcoin season and a massive bull run that makes people lots of money looks like. Of course, the first phase that takes the longest is where Bitcoin takes control. The Bitcoin dominance climbs. It has complete power. And even though altcoins might rally and have some good days here and there, the reality is the majority of money is flowing into Bitcoin alone. However, when you move into phase 2, and this is a phase that I believe is happening right now, you move into the Ethereum phase. In this chart, you can see it says this is where Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, and we start to hear talks of the flippening. Now, if you're online, especially over on X, I've seen some rumblings in the last couple of days that people think we actually might be flipping into phase 3 at this point. And while I do think that's coming later, in my own opinion, I do believe we're still within that phase 2. Why? Because I'm going to show you on the charts here in just a couple of minutes, Ethereum is absolutely outpacing Bitcoin. But I haven't yet heard the rumblings about Ethereum flipping Bitcoin, meaning becoming even higher in market cap than the #1 cryptocurrency. I'm here to tell you, even if you start to hear those rumblings coming, that's just not going to happen. Ethereum is not going to top Bitcoin, at least in this bull market. But it's going to make some moves that make people believe the momentum is taking it towards being the #1 cryptocurrency overall. Once that happens, we will start to see money flowing into large cap coins. Think about other coins like XRP and Solana and Chainlink and Cardano. And those coins all have some big runs and have been making some moves. But I'm going to show you here in a couple of minutes, they're not making the same exact moves Ethereum is. Ethereum is still king right now of the altcoins, keeping us in phase 2. After phase 3, of course, you start to look at the meme coins and the small caps will go ballistic in what we call the true altcoin season. Of course, it's going to be a very short period of time where we have probably a blow off top, a massive run to the upside, and then the end of the bull market. Some people think that we're close to that. I don't think so, because I still think we're in phase 2. And if history ends up repeating itself, this means we have several months, if not a full year left of a bull market. So that right there is why Ethereum holds the keys to what the future of the bull run looks like. But let's talk about some other reasons you should be very bullish about Ethereum right now and things to keep your eyes on. So you'll remember in phase 2, it says that Ethereum starts to make major gains on Bitcoin. Well, we're even seeing this happen in the institutional space. Yesterday, for example, we saw $176 million added into Ethereum ETFs in one day. BlackRock alone bought 92.6 million in Ethereum. Some other massive news hitting more recently is that we have the S&P launching a crypto index consisting of 15 cryptocurrencies and 35 crypto-related stocks. While they have not yet confirmed which cryptos and which stocks will be in this list, one can only assume the king of altcoins has to be on that list. Therefore, Ethereum has another form of massive institutional adoption and TradFi buying happening in the next couple of months. While we've been trading mostly sideways on Ethereum over the last couple of months since back in August, you can see the last week and change has been a massive boom for Ethereum. Even here today on the 4-hour chart, you can see that Ethereum has been continuing to move to the upside. This is happening during mild pullbacks this morning here for Bitcoin and other altcoins like XRP, Solana, Chainlink, etc. But something really important to watch on the charts is the ETH over Bitcoin or other altcoins over Bitcoin charts to see who's stealing the dominance and power away from Bitcoin. Here we have the ETH over Bitcoin chart, and even though over the last couple of weeks we do have a pullback on ETH over Bitcoin, when you zoom out and go all the way to the weekly chart, you can see if you were to go back to those big lows in April, Ethereum has gained on Bitcoin over 114% since those April lows. Compare this, for example, to Cardano's lows from earlier this year. It's only up 34% over Bitcoin. XRP, another large cap coin, is up only 22% versus Bitcoin. Even Ethereum's number one competitor, Solana, which has had a decent run here, is only up 45% since April against Bitcoin's price action. The significance of this is that as we are watching the Bitcoin dominance drop and it looks like altcoin season is coming, the number one coin stealing that dominance away is absolutely Ethereum. When you go back and look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, this whole move has corresponded almost inversely exactly with the ETH over Bitcoin chart. And while altcoins like XRP, Solana, and others have helped with it, Ethereum has carried the load. Why? Because we're in phase 2 of the altcoin cycle. As we start to look specifically at the Ethereum chart and what is happening over the last day and a half, you're going to find a major breakout has happened on ETH over the US dollar. Like I said earlier in the video, we've been trading sideways and slightly downwards since the all-time high set back in late August. But we've set up what is called a falling channel pattern. This is a very bullish pattern. And once you start to get a breakout above resistance and start to set a higher high and higher low, which we're currently working on doing, this breakout has some major potential moves to the upside. A short-term target by taking the opening volatility of this formation would suggest that the next major move for Ethereum will take it above $5,000 up towards $5,529. A more aggressive estimate is going to look at this channel attached to a very explosive leg on the weekly chart and say this is actually a bull flag with price targets all the way up closer towards $9,000 per coin. Now, there's been people out there recently like Tom Lee and others who are major Ethereum bulls saying that all of that is doable by the end of this year. Well, I'm not quite certain just yet we hit 9,000 before January of 2026. It absolutely is a number that I think happens in the year 2026, as I do believe the 4-year cycle in the sense of having a top in November or December is over. I still believe sometime late Q1 to mid Q2 of 2026 is a more realistic top position for the majority of altcoins. But I would love to see it, just like the rest of you, to get Ethereum to $9,000 by the end of the year. Really quickly, let me know in the comments down below, do you think that is doable? And are you predicting Ethereum pushing that price action before January? But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's make sure Ethereum does the proper things on the short time frames to make that $5,500 to $9,000 price prediction come to fruition. Right now, we are wrestling not just with the highs from back on September 13th, but with the daily smart trail itself. I told you that we broke through some resistance of a falling channel, but what I don't see happening just yet is a big histogram coming in on the volume. The volume needs to increase for Ethereum to confirm the bulls are in full control. So not only do I want to see several candles close above roughly $4,700 to break through that resistance, I also want to see volume shoot to the upside, at least with a couple histograms. One reason to be extremely optimistic is that it does look like right now a bunch of short liquidations are being chased, and we're looking at a short squeeze to pop us up to new all-time highs, up here potentially as high as $5,000 just to liquidate shorts that have been listed in the last month and change. With the weekly money flow looking like we're ticking back to the upside, this big breakout looks like it is on the horizon. So keep your eyes on the charts, look for those big breakouts and resistance levels to be hit, and we're on our way above $5,000 very soon. After that, altcoin season will begin. Coins like XRP, Chainlink, AVAX, Cardano, and others will begin to go sky high as well. But right now, Ethereum is the coin to watch. Ethereum is the coin that holds the keys. It needs to break that all-time high and confirm the massive bull run, because then once it breaks that level, all the altcoins trickle behind it. If you want to learn more how to do analysis just like I've done in this video, make sure you go check out the VIP trading group in the description down below. Every single day we have live shows covering not just the charts and active trade setups to look for every single day. We teach people technical analysis, how to read the news, and even have a group where we look at small cap coins with major potential. Go check that out if you are interested in upping your trading game today and changing your life forever through the world of investing. With that said, smash the like on your way out. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.